All right. Okay. Well, Danny, Susan, thank you so much for being here. Obviously, Danny, you're an installer, and Susan, you're an account manager in our office doing sales. But I want to hear from you. How would you explain your job? What do you do all day? What keeps you busy?
For me, most of the time, it's just nurturing relationships. That's my job. I'm talking to other people and finding new work and figuring out problems, and that's how I would define myself.
I'm a professional glue spreader.
There you go.
No, we spend a lot of time organizing, and we do more larger scale commercial jobs.
We're here talking about collaboration. Yeah. And when we were talking about this podcast and this episode and wanting to discuss the topic of collaboration, I couldn't think of two people who I know that know how to collaborate better from the sales
Thank you.
and the office side and on the job site side. Yeah. And I know that you've worked together on a number of jobs that have all gone great for us. But I wanted to sort of dig in and understand exactly what makes that collaboration tick and the relationship between the two of you and what makes it special. So Susan is out there in the world, and she's selling to our clients, and she's making promises, and she's telling them we can do all these incredible things. We put flooring on the wall, we put it on the ceiling, we can put it upside down. We're going to make everything look beautiful, and we're going to do it all basically overnight. When you hear all these promises that Susan has made to our customers, what do you think?
One, you have to see, can you manage those expectations?
Yeah.
Is it possible? Right. And can you do it in the parameters that everybody wants?
Right.
So once you see that, and if you can see a clear roadmap to it, it's our job to try to make it happen.
Yeah.
And I think the thing why Susan and I work well together is just a mutual respect.
Right.
She doesn't bullshit.
Yeah.
What she says is what it is, and I try to be the same way. Yeah. And I have this one philosophy: don't overpromise and underdeliver. So if you can just keep within those time frames and do what you say and say what you do, it usually rolls along pretty well.
Nice. Is there one promise you can think of that you've made to a client where you could sort of see Danny's eyes roll back into the back of his head where you go, oh my God, what have you done?
Oh, I can't. Well, probably. I mean.
I have one quick example.
I would love to hear a quick example.
I would too.
The children's cottage with no elevator. How we're going to get the material up to the fourth floor.
Oh, is that a problem?
Walk it up.
I don't know exactly how we're going to get this, but we'll figure it out.
And our helicopter was in the shop that day.
It was. It was pretty close. No elevator. Yeah.
Well, I can think of one. We did it at a long-term healthcare facility where you had to build a gutter out of wall protection. And I remember Susan telling me about
laundry
that. What the hell have you promised these people? And you're like, oh, Danny can do it. It's no problem.
I'll just figure it out.
You did it, and it looked beautiful.
Yeah.
It looked really
I don't know how. Yeah, I hope it lasted. We made it out of white rock and epoxy.
Yeah.
So.
I haven't heard anything yet. And so when you guys are working through that kind of thing, or you're having conversations with a client, how do you know when's a good time to connect with somebody like Danny who's out on our sites, and then you have to make it real? You have to make it practical.
As soon as I start going, I better call Danny. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's when I don't know or haven't done this before, or it's starting to sound like more complicated than I can wrap my head around. That's when I know I have to check in.
Yeah. And how do you feel about that, like being pulled in on the sales side of things?
I like to be in kind of at the beginning, because then it gives us a little bit of ownership and pride, and that we want to be part of the project going forward.
Yeah.
And that makes it feel more like a team member.
Right.
And that's one thing I've always appreciated working with Universal. You feel like a team member. You just don't feel like an employee or just you're the hero on the list.
Right.
So and that's what I appreciate. I'd rather have those kind of relationships where we work as a team and we can problem solve and make solutions together.
Yeah.
Than just say you're doing this and this is how you're doing it.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Right.
It's just I think that's a respect thing from doing it for so long. You want our expertise. You want a bit of our advice, because we have gone through the pitfalls, the tribulations, the trials. So
yeah. And over the course of a project, I mean, you're working in the office and you've got, changes coming at you or instructions coming from site or whatever, and then you're on the site actually having to make this stuff come together in reality. How do you manage that communication? How do you keep that collaboration piece alive as you're working in the site in the office and on the site?
I think sometimes it's daily check-ins and asking and answering, right? So if I ask for something and then it can become a reality, obviously things take time. And I
think when we're on a project together, I always answer the phone when Danny calls.
Right.
just because it's always something.
Yeah.
Again, with the trust, right? He's not calling me to chit chat.
Yeah.
He's calling me because there's a reason.
Yeah. Right. How do you know that you're not getting a line of bullshit from the job site that goes like, hey, we can do this or we can't do this, or like, I can't get started
From
today?
the installer?
Yeah.
Well, I don't get bullshit from Danny. Again, I think that comes down to trust over the years. But I mean, with other people, I don't know. I think you get a vibe from,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know when something's off.
Yeah.
We've all done this enough times. If someone's giving you the same excuse or reason they can't do something, there's usually another reason behind it.
Right.
Whether they can't start that day, they wanted to start that day, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I think open communication is really, I don't have to share your story with everybody else, but at least give it to me.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let's talk schedule, because I think the biggest driver of a success of a project, in particular in the way that our customers view us, is whether we hit a schedule or not.
Right.
And I think it's the easiest place where we can overpromise and then ultimately underdeliver, because we get told, hey, you need to be done, and here are the dates. And in sales, you want to say yes, 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 and then figure it out later. So how do you work together on that piece in terms of the customer has an expectation about what the schedule is going to be, and you've ultimately agreed to it, and then sort of giving Danny the bad news that he's got to make this happen?
Well, I mean, I think I've been around long enough to know if it's realistic or not.
yeah.
Most of the time, I'll consult.
Right.
I'll say, I think that'll work. Let me check. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing today with all the pull planning and everything does is know how long it takes you to do something. And then if those are the dates, just try to, when they build the plan with you, because they do that with you guys in the beginning with the pull plan too, be realistic in your timeline. Don't do it at your fastest. Don't do it at your slowest. Try to aim for the middle, and then make sure that the general contractor sticks to that. They said, this is how long this takes. If you keep on asking for nights and weekends and additional, that just compounds onto everybody else. And we're usually the ones who get to shoulder that load, and that's tough.
Yeah.
And our families do too. It's just a coming downhill.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest thing is just be realistic when you make your deadlines and try to hold the GCs accountable to it. Because we all know that things get pushed back, and end dates never, or finish dates never change. So
Right. Yeah.
That's another thing, sorry, that Danny is really good at, is pushing the GC.
yeah,
You give me a date, I'm going to work.
Yeah. And so what do you mean by that, pushing the GC?
I mean, going to site on whichever day we were given and saying, okay, I'm working. Give me the space. Move everybody else out of my way. Or other people who aren't quite as assertive might just leave.
Yeah.
And then we're behind.
yeah. They leave, they say it's not ready, instead of trying to be flexible and knowing what you can do if you're given an area. That goes back to doing what you say. If you promise something, do it. If you don't do it, you probably never get the opportunity again. So
How do you have that attitude flow down to the rest of your crew? I mean, you've got a crew of 6 or 7 people. They're all working with you and for you. How do you get that attitude to sort of permeate your whole group?
I think it's just been, most of us are pretty positive, and I think that's something I've looked through for all the guys that work with us. I consider everyone a team member as well. I don't want anyone think that they have to do this or that. I just want them to buy in, I guess, is the biggest thing. And being positive, I think you always get more when being positive and nice. And then you have to be a little bit assertive to move people along. And the way the bigger ones work is you just have to go to the pre-plan and ask for what you need and go forward from there.
What about collaboration going the other direction? We've talked a lot about how we get information from the office to the job site. What do you need when you communicate back to the office in terms of getting things from our office and support or things like that?
Logistics and support, I'm big in making sure that when we need a delivery, we need this to arrive at said date to make everything happen. And that's just knowing what your lead times are, where everything's coming from. And I think that portion of the job can make or break it. Like if you have everything arriving and coming to site on schedule, it'll help you maintain your schedule.
Right.
So having all of your products ordered, knowing where they are, their ship dates, their arrival dates, all these things are going to change. Manufacturers, it happens. But,
Well, and we rely on you on site to tell us when you need more.
Yeah.
Or what's coming up next and where we're headed.
That's knowing what your look aheads are. Like if it's your 2, 3, 4 week look ahead, what's going to be happening in those timeframes. And that's what probably makes our team successful, is that we know how to plan not a week in advance, a 2 week in advance, what you need, whether it's that week or that month or the day before.
Right.
You need to plan and execute.